Tozu's definitely compensating for the killer, probably because they failed to hide their own tracks. And withdrawing information might be his way of balancing the odds. Bullshit rules. Who's to say they won't be abused? Regardless, Wolfgang's cause of death should be treated as the crux of the mystery. And if I can figure out how he died, then everyone else should fall into place. I'm completely missed these during the blackout. Well, how are you supposed to see blood on the floor? Speaking of, after the body discovering...
There's blood on the floor.
Pretty random to be lying around a crime scene. It definitely wasn't in the boiler room prior to the murder either. Did that mean the taser gun was involved in the murder? On closer inspection, nothing about the gun looked particularly strange. Had it even been used, I'm pretty sure a taser gun dispensed some kind of wire when fired. Nearby, some yellow pieces of plastic on the floor. Were some yellow pieces. They were the same shade of yellow as the taser gun. Had these originally been attached to it? What's the point of making guesses when I can just get him to confirm? After all, someone who's pro at wielding guns should know them better than anyone else. Yeah, I'm about to say, well, just ask Desmond. Half of the generator's internals had melted away, and what still remained was almost completely singed. Yeah, this was definitely the cause of the power outage. What could have melted the wires, though? Did I overhear the sound of the generator being destroyed? Nothing else near the dining hall could have made that kind of noise, I don't think. Huh? There's a cord in the water. Judging by the length, it thinks it's an extension cord, but what the hell happened on the other end of it? There was no internal plug, just a frayed tip line with black substance. Had the cord been burnt? I didn't see the cord in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from someplace else. One of the storage rooms, maybe? It wasn't always in this condition, that's for sure. Why was it even in the water? Chunks of something red were floating nearby the generator. It almost looked like metal or some kind of plastic. Were these originally part of the generator? The colors and material don't seem to match, though. I cannot even begin to suggest what that could be. I'm preparing to hold a one-on-one session with Ulysses. I was consulting him about something important before we were interrupted by the announcement. Is that what you were doing before the blackout?
Huh?
Repeat that?
It's simple.
The blackout. Were you still with Ulysses when it happened?
Come on.
You're not speaking any sense. There was no power outage. What? Let me rephrase that. Where were you when the murder happened?
Sheesh.
Where were you? At the Cassidy's game tournament in the dining hall.
Oh, really?
Really? Not what I expected.
Hey, focus. Where the hell were you?
Ulysses and I spent this morning by the large tree. We stayed there up to and including the time of Wolfgang's murder. Okay, so the building, so only the main building went out, had power cut out. The generator over there was partially submerged in the water. Oh, he's about to throw up, isn't he? I think we would be wise to stay on this platform. Was he worried about the water being electrified? Ava and I managed to stand in it way back when. I don't see why now will be any different. Then again, the generator wasn't damaged last time.
Damn.
Yeah, since Wolfgang is kneeling in the water, we should avoid touching him.
No.
You don't know for sure if the water's unsafe. Huh?
Listen to me.
Before you start making conclusions, you should experiment first. Saying that, Ava walked over to a pile of light boxes and pulled out a light bulb. Oh, I see what you're doing. Sure enough, Ava went straight to the edge of the platform and threw the light bulb into the water.
Look.
See, it's not lighting up. That means the water is safe.
Well,
I see. Then I suppose it's safe to inspect Wolfgang.
Okay.
Are you going to? I think I will observe from afar instead. Now this isn't the time to be listening to your nerves. Oi, take a whiff of the air. Ain't there something off about it? I followed his instruction and sniffed the air. It smells like burnt rubber. 'Cause of the busted generator, yeah? But that's not what I'm talking about. There is another scent. A real bitter one.
Your mom.
Don't be mean to Jean. You might actually be onto something. It's almost like cereal and rubbing alcohol. Indeed. I'm suspecting a mighty chemical reaction at work. I've had my fair share of travels across the street, and I'm no stranger to foul play. There's no stench worse than one of a disastrous combustion.
It is how it is.
The thing is, I got no idea where it's coming from. Unless John's conclusion about the smell, I wouldn't put it past him. Odd smell. Wolfgang, why did you move over here? It's
The struggle.
I feel it is highly important to me that we investigate anything and everything we can. That is why I moved over here to investigate. More like he didn't want to be near Wolfgang's body. And what was first for the investigation? Something other than fear appeared on Alyssa's face. It was curiosity. What is it? Look at the floor in the front of the door. This is that like it's a hair thing? Yes.
Seriously.
This is just, oh, is it? It looked like one of those thin hair things that people can use to like lockpick.
Do you think?
Even so, it's still a part of a crime scene. It necessitates documentation.
That's not important.
Seriously, something this small means nothing. It could have come from the generator or the pipes above us. Ingress could have been carrying it for all we know. This guy, there's so much on here he could actually document, and instead he focusing on some flimsy piece of metal. All the more reason to rely on myself. Yeah, you still added it to the thing. Okay. I was hoping that he could maybe answer, like, the smell questions. Expected the taser. Oh, wait. Knife. I almost missed that. A knife. That's where the blood comes from. Why was there a knife floating in the water? On the blade and surrounding it. And in the surrounding water, I could make out something out. The unmistakable color of blood. You're right. Hot pink. The color of blood. There's no doubt about it. This knife must have been something to do with the murder. Why the knife was here and not actually on the platform, I had no idea. Wonder if it was like a fight. But it's just like, who could it have been at this point? Right? Because like we had the blackmail. Ava also had it, but me and Ava were in the thing. And I thought it was going to be Grace at some point, but it couldn't have been Grace because Grace was also there. It might be Desmond. It could be Desmond because they wouldn't have said something about, oh, Desmond guards the only person he can trust. The only one he can trust. All right, it feels like I'm giving the boiler room a good run now, which means it's time to touch the body. Do you want to inspect him? Why'd you jump? Holy crap, did she really have to scare me like that? Yeah, I do want to inspect him. It's just the idea of getting close to him.
Where?
I'll investigate with you. It'll be easier for both of us that way. Right?
Right.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Wolfgang lay completely still, his face frozen in a look of horror. His once bright eyes were shrouded in darkness, and his mouth was open, as if he's been killed mid-scream. Ava's expression said it all. Wolfgang did everything in his powers to make us outcasts and make the worst of us. At times, I even hated him for it. But this brought no relief to either of us. Wolfgang, what happened in his final moments that left him so terrified? Was it the realization he was about to die? His hand? With the way Wolfgang was slumped over the platform, it almost looked like he'd fallen on top of it.
Focus.
Let me see if his palms are scratched. As I knelt down to take a closer look. Huh? Trickling out from under the cuff of Wolfgang's sleeve and onto the rest of his hand. A strange injury that looked like a sapling. So there's our proof that he was electrocuted. So, super fun fact. The only reason I know about the whole tree sapling thing and electrocution is because of the Charmed reboot. Where the villain, the villain of the first half, one of the villains, I guess, was killing people through electricity, and that was the big marker on how they died because they had those tree saplings on their bodies and stuff where they were struck and all of that. That's how I know. Like, I'm pretty sure that's like what you get, because people get that when they're struck by lightning, right? So I imagine the same thing happens if you're like electrocuted, right? The generator seems too far from where Wolfgang is lying to cause burns like these.
Look at this.
Plus, the room's water isn't conductive, so electricity couldn't have traveled through it. Well, there was a thing in there. So maybe as the person set it up so that the water ended up being conductive and then killed him. But I guess they're saying that because if that was the case, then the water would still be conductive a bit. As I leaned close, I spotted a folded piece of paper sticking out from his back pocket. Though it was soaked, it wasn't completely destroyed. I really don't want to touch him, but with my thumb and index finger, I snatched the paper out of his pocket, taking care not to brush my hand against his body. I gingerly folded the open paper, aware that some of the water spots could fall apart completely. And I found a message written inside. That's some very ugly hand. Oh, no. Do you recognize it?
No.
A lot of the text is unreadable. Whoever wrote this probably used a low-quality pen. Although, at the bottom of the page, fragments of a message were still visible. Secret, 815 boiler room. Close the door. Doesn't this read a lot like a command? It seems like someone wanted to arrange a private meeting with him here.
I see.
Could that someone be the culprit?
Not sure.
815. That's a long time before the time of death, though. Maybe there was a struggle, or maybe Wolfgang arrived late.
There must be something.
Either way, this message is definitely a valuable clue. It's our only insight into Wolfgang's movement before his death. Well, now I really want to know where everyone was at the time. I woke up at 8:30 a.m. this morning, so I was asleep when this meeting was scheduled to happen. It's only 35 minutes before the tournament. Cassidy, Jet, and I would have already been in the dining hall. Right, setting up equipment.
That's...
As for the other students, directly asking them where they were at 8:15 might be risky.
Where?
Because they would wonder where we got the time from. Exactly. And I prefer to keep this note between the two of us. At least for now. It might be Desmond, guys. If only Wolfgang had hidden this note somewhere safe instead of bringing it here. It would have been valuable evidence. I doubt he could have envisioned something like this happening. He was never really on his guard during this killing game, except around you and me, I guess. I think it might be Desmond, because they're talking about handwritings, right? Everyone's signature is included in this. But the thing is, with Damon, I imagine maybe, I don't know, could everybody's handwriting count as ugly to him? Like, I guess for some people, Diana's could look ugly, but it doesn't look to me. The only person who I think would qualify as having ugly handwriting would be deceased. Would be, look, Desmond. So it might be Desmond. Desmond, I swear to God, bro, if it's you. I guess Ingrid could. You can say Ingrid's handwriting is ugly too, but like it's still very legible. I don't, and like, okay, and that's the thing. People have different qualifications for what counts as ugly handwriting, quote unquote. So Ingrid's, to me, if it's legible, then it doesn't matter how quote unquote ugly it is. But some people could look at Ingrid's handwriting and be, oh, that's ugly. And they could say the same for like Mark's handwriting and Diana's, despite the fact that it's still very eligible. So I'm thinking it's Desmond, which is gonna make me super upset. Desmond, you're gonna upset me immensely if it's you. There didn't seem to be any strange markings on Wolfgang's face. However, along the back of his neck was a massive bruise. Ooh, Jesus.
I'm about to sing a song.
I wonder if he was knocked unconscious when he came here. Like, he did show up he did show up on time, but he was knocked unconscious. And it's possible he could have been interrogated by someone. That looks like a really bad injury. Almost his entire neck is discolored.
Damn.
Right. How did he get this on the back of his neck? Nothing around us seemed to have left it. This might sound morbid, but what if it's a sign of his body decomposing?
That's...
Can a body really decompose this fast? It could, or it could not. It probably depends on the environment. As in the temperature? Correct. Cold places are generally better at preserving things in warm, humid areas like this boiler room. Kind of like dairy products. That's a good comparison. Is it though? Turning my attention back to Wolfgang, I caught something else on his body. Near the mark on his neck, but not directly overlapping it. A red dot. What the hell? Is that a beauty mark?
You better be joking.
So maybe they injected him with something. He woke up and tried to free himself. Someone knocked him out. That's why he was like in the water. He tried to climb out, but then they electrocuted him. The skin around the dot seems to be inflamed. It reminds me of a pop pimple. The sort of wound you can easily inflict on yourself.
So,
Then, you don't think this was related to the murder? It might not be, but
There must be something.
judging by the lack of scabbing, this was inflicted pretty recently, so we may as well keep it in mind. It looks like a needle. Oh my goodness. Because, okay, so Kai was talking about how all of this stuff, like I said it too. Kai made such a good point that all of this like medicine and drugs and stuff, someone as much as like, yeah, everybody was worried about, oh, someone could use this to kill somebody, but what Kai pointed out, someone could easily get addicted to this stuff. I'm wondering if that's what that could have been. And then Ava and Damon were talking about how, oh, it could be that Wolfgang has ulterior dark motives, or it could be he just picked up on his father's bad habits. What if it's like he was addicted to something? And maybe that's what someone was blackmailing him about. Maybe they saw him. They didn't need the letter that I had. They saw him, and that's what... It couldn't have been Grace, because Grace wouldn't have shut the fuck up about it. Now I think about it, the place where Wolfgang laid was odd. What were the chances he would end up here? Between the only opening of the fence, the one spot where he could kneel over like this. Was it possible he'd been trying to climb onto the platform before he died? It's strange that he didn't use the stairs though, and even stranger that he was even in the water. He was pushed into the water. That seems to be everything I could gather.
hello.
Hey, Damon. Since we've inspected the boiler room, we should find the students who left and ask them for their testimonies.
Right.
They went upstairs to investigate Wolfgang's dorm, right? Yes, but because of what I said earlier, the victim's last known whereabouts are the best place to search for clues.
Okay.
All right, let's see what they've been up to. Apart from collecting testimonies, there were two other matters of my mind. One, getting Desmond to inspect the taser gun, and two, pinpointing exactly when the blackout occurred, in case it happened at the time of the murder. I walked over to the boiler door, which had been left slightly ajar, but as I began to pull it the rest of the way open, I noticed it. The doorknob, something about it, looked different. Hey, Ava, the doorknob, I think it's been flipped. Flipped? Are you sure? Take a look for yourself. The first time we woke up here, I'm pretty sure this lock was on the inside, not the outside. How would someone be able to flip a doorknob, though?
That's...
By unscrewing it, probably. Okay. Why didn't you say something earlier?
Huh?
What do you mean? This is the first time I've noticed it.
Is that really
Really?
true?
You didn't notice it back when you entered the boiler room with Kai? No, not even then. It might have been because of the darkness or my own nerves. But back then, I wasn't paying attention to the small details like the doorknob. All I wanted to do was enter the boiler room.
Anyways.
I know that makes me sound stupid.
Listen to me.
It's okay. I mean, I probably would have noticed the doorknob had I been there, but that's besides the point. It's alright. Anyway, this discovery paints an interesting picture. Since the lock was now accessible from the hallway, you could technically lock the boiler room shut without ever stepping foot in it. Meaning that if you wanted to lock someone inside the boiler room, all you have to do is lure them in and close the door behind him. Interesting.
Moving on.
Come on, we need to collect people's testimonies. I was going! Weird. I don't remember any
It's
footsteps.
the truth. Really?
I do. Eh? Ava, did you really? I heard them while Grace and I were investigating the storage room next to yours.
However,
I just brushed it off as my imagination, though. Guess me and Jet must have been talking over them. Were those footsteps the reason you entered the boiler room, Damo? It's Damon, and yeah. They came from the direction of that room, so I wanted to see what the person was running from.
for real?
Foo, you really? I would have just chased after the footsteps. I mean, entering the boiler room after something like that, you weren't scared a murderer was hiding inside? What I actually discovered wasn't better. True. Then whose footsteps could those have been? I don't know why anyone would be running around those spooky hallways, let alone in the dark.
What about...
Unless, maybe they were looking for a backup generator.
That's not
I
important.
doubt it. I doubt it's that innocent, considering the place this person ran from was the crime scene. Those footsteps were probably the killers. Do you mean fresh off committing the murder?
Right.
Fresh off the murder or a bit after. Depends on what time we went downstairs. Either way, whether it was immediately or after the murder or not, for a brief moment, the only thing separating us from Wolfgang's killer were the storage room walls. That's creepy to think about. This is storage closet
Yeah.
D. Yeah, Mark and Jean explored this one. And Jean. Let's see what I can find here. Is there anything weird about this room?
That's...
I think I see something behind that pile of boxes. I stood on my tiptoes and got to get a better look, and
Jeez.
so they really are here.
Well,
What's here? Extension cords, a whole bunch of them.
strange.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, these are definitely the same type of cord I saw in the boiler room. Only difference is these still have their other half intact. Huh, the internal plugs are slim compared to other kinds of cords. The fact that these cords match the one in the boiler room means the killer must have rummaged through these closets for equipment. For what reason they needed the cord, I had no idea, but this was still a step in the right direction. Okay, this is storage
Yeah.
house A. Yeah, let's take a roll around as we get to the shelves. The glint of something shiny caught my eye. Eh? Ava, look. There's a rolling... Ooh, this is what they could have used. There's a rolling pin in here and handprints on it too.
Strange.
What are you implying? That someone used this recently, but not for its intended purpose.
I know.
Look, can you see how the handprints are at the base of the pin? You aren't rolling much dough if you're wielding it like this like a tennis racket, are you? The pin is also really dusty. If it came from the kitchen, it would be clean like the other utensils there. Yeah, agreed. Not only that,
Jeez.
right, there's a dent on the pin too. Really? On the end opposite the handprints. Can you see it?
Weird.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Handprints and a dent. That's definitely not a coincidence.
Focus.
Could this pin have something to do with the mark we found on Wolfgang's neck? If it was used to knock him out, it would not only explain the dent on the pin, but the bruise on Wolfgang's neck.
I'm about to sing a song.
How did it make its way into this closet, though?
Huh?
What do you mean? How did the pin make its way into the closet after the killer used it?
There must be
Oh,
something.
I mean, if the footsteps Kai and I heard were the killers, then they probably chucked the pin in here on their way out. Well, no, because then Grace and Ava were in the room. Grace and Ava were in the room. Grace was in the room. Okay. So this has to be, I feel like it was two people. I feel like it's two people, right? It has, oh my God, because it has to be two people. Because, if that was it wouldn't have been, because Ava would have heard it. But Grace was in the room. And I'm sure he said that tennis racket line as like a red herring. So it might be a red herring that it might be Grace, right? But if it's not, Grace was in the room already.
Absolutely not.
No, that's not what happened.
Huh?
Eh? If the killer entered this closet and had the rolling
Listen to
pin,
me.
Grace and I would have seen them because it was Grace. Anyways, crap. Of course, she and Grace were investigating this closet at the time. What if the killer placed the pin in here before any of us came downstairs?
Save it.
If they were out in the hallway, why didn't they use that as their chance to escape? Well, the meeting happened earlier, so they could have easily just popped it in there. Damn it, she's right about that too. Could this rolling pin really be unrelated? But it lines up so well with the other evidence. Damn, it's a steel rolling pin?
I'm about to sing a song.
Alright, Ava, upstairs! What? There's still things in the hallway I need to... Oh, shit! Girl, I thought you was doing a walk down to this place. You ain't mentioned this. Dried blood in the boiler room. You noticed the blood in there?
Correct.
I noticed you noticing
I
it.
see.
I see. So, who do you think left all this blood behind?
Focus.
Well, it can't be Wolfgang, can it? Considering the sort of injuries he sustained, it wouldn't make sense for him to have split a lot of blood.
There must be something.
Which means the only possibility we're left is
What could it be?
the blood belongs to someone else. Yeah, exactly.
Eh? Right.
Thanks.
She's like, what would you have pointed it out if I didn't? Girl, I just noticed it. I'm gonna be honest. If the game wasn't like, hey, I missed something, it was like I would have missed it. Actually, I think I did see it, but I didn't think nothing of it because, like, you see how we kept going in and out of the pharmacy hallways, and it's like it's blood in there. On the lookout. Aw.
Eh?
Eh? Right in front of us, a flustered Eloise was huddled with her back to the wall. standing right next to her. Sup, you guys? Might want to lower your voice around here. Some stuff has happened.
What could it be?
Is something wrong? Sorry, Eloise had a bit of a frightening experience recently.
You think?
I think we all have.
No kidding.
Well, yeah, the scene downstairs is bad, but I'm talking about something else. After Tozu left, we tried going inside Wolfgang's room to look for clues, but the moment we stepped in, she suddenly pounced on me. She dragged me out and Desmond ran after us. I haven't been able to get my heart to stop beating so fast, so quickly since. Hold on, this she you're referring to.
Shit.
Yep, it's Grace. She's been guarding Wolfgang's dorm ever since she kicked us out. Grace was blocking access to Wolfgang's dorm? What the hell? We can't let her bar us from entering his room. The class trial could start at any moment. That's what I tried telling everyone else, but they pretty much gave up. Jet and Mark went to the dining hall, and Diana went to the laundry room. Toshiko and Ingrid went to the courtyard. Eloise and I, though, we're not gonna let this slide. We gotta get inside the dorm room, so we've been brainstorming other ideas to approach Grace.
Think about it this way.
And we've landed on something. Performing a brief inquisition. Inquisition? If Grace doesn't want to cooperate, we'll start badgering her with questions, poke at her ego until it eventually retreats.
Safety first.
If you want, you can join us. A debater must be good at dishing verbal beatdowns, yeah? I did come here to inspect Wolfgang's room, so I might as well. If that's the
I'm
case,
out.
I'll go to the dining hall and ask Jet and Mark for their testimonies. You're not coming along?
Where?
Grace isn't someone I like to be around right now. You three can handle her. Something tells me she's just afraid of her talent being mocked.
Right.
No sweat. Have fun with Jet and Mark.
Goodbye.
Ava left in the direction of the laundromat, clearly taking the long route to the dining hall. Should we approach Grace then?
Total.
Yeah, let's not waste any time here.
Okay.
Right, okay. Do you want to take the lead, Damon? Oh, sure. I wasn't going to admit it to either face, but their plans seemed pretty half-baked. Not because I was going to face off with Grace, but because she was, too. How could a bumbling person like her be of any help in a verbal showdown? If anything, she'll probably make us look uncoordinated. Guess I'll have to do most of the heavy lifting here. Since Grace was guarding Wolfgang's dorm, she should be right around the corner. I'm watching you. The only person guards the one he trusts the most, huh? I'm watching you. Grace, remove thyself from in front of Wolfgang's door. Don't you two yuppies get it? You're not coming in. Yuppies, damn.
Don't get it mixed up.
Hang on, we're not here for that. Damon just wants to ask you a question.
Back off.
He isn't coming in either.
Jeez.
Why not? I need to investigate Wolfgang's dorm room.
Soybean.
Back off, Soybean. His room is none of your business. Except it is. I have to search his last known whereabouts, which includes his dorm room by default.
See that?
What if I said I've done the job for you?
Come again?
As in you searched the room? High and low. Want to know what I found? Nothing. For us to believe that, we need to see it for ourselves.
Oi!
You think I'm lying?
Just saying.
There's a chance you could be, unfortunately.
Hey?
Think about it. You haven't given us any reason to believe you. Someone who's got nothing to hide wouldn't be acting so protective right now, you know? It gives the impression that there's something you really don't want us to see. So, my bets are on either Desmond, who was protecting Eloise, being the killer, or Grace being the killer. Or, no, because... I'm just saying, Desmond has to be in on it, right? Because ugly handwriting. Desmond, it has to be Desmond in on this. Also, couldn't this be considered breaking the rules? Tozu wants this game to be fair, but being prevented from searching every room doesn't seem very fair.
Don't test me.
Even if it wasn't, what are you gonna do about it? I'll report it to Tozu. Huh?
You...
Makes sense.
Nice idea. What do you say we look for him now? If Tozu agrees this is sabotage, he might call Mara to help. Oi, it's not sabotage! I'm not hiding anything about the murder. Don't try to get me involved. Desmond never mentioned Wolfgang's murder. Grace?
Anyway.
Look, just let us look into the room. If you're telling the truth, we'll drop our suspicions.
Gotta stay one step
The
back.
reality of the situation is we gotta invade Wolfgang's privacy if we want to know what happened to him. He would want to investigate arms rooms if it were anyone else who died. Grace stood there silently, gritting her teeth. Then she stepped away from the door.
Okay.
Phew. Sweet. Thanks, Grace. With sighs of relief, we entered Wolfgang's dorm. I love seeing everybody else's dorm. Does his look nicer than... Oh, his look nicer than ours! So this was Wolfgang's dorm. While some of my expectations were correct, a lot about this room surprised me. I anticipated the layout resembling my dorms and the decor reflecting his talent. What I didn't anticipate was how messy it was. Well, he was rooming with Grace, so... Well, maybe not messy, just really casual. A room that clearly been well lived in.
Oi, you.
Don't move things around when you expect them. I want to keep the room as is. To be honest, I'm not sure why I was even surprised. Huge wooden bookshelves filled to the brim with a catalog of books towered over the room. Skimming the titles, most of them seem to be about the intricacies of the league. Oh, he gets real books, but I don't. Okay, fuck you. Although some were about old court cases rehashed with new evidence. Did Wolfgang really read any of these, or were these all just for show? An intricately patterned couch side by side with two red... I'm jealous, bro. He got a nicer room than me. With two red sofa chairs. Even the throw pillars seem to be arranged in just the right way. That's not fair at all. A large toy bear adorned the bed. Something tells me this didn't belong in the room originally. Normally she'd be meeting my eyes.
Quit it.
I know you suspect me. I can tell by the look on your face. But I don't know anything about his death. To be in the dark like everyone else about a person she was so close to? Damn it, get a grip on yourself, Damon. Grace can claim to know nothing about the murder, but about everything before it?
Anyway.
So I heard a rumor you became Wolfgang's new bunk buddy. This room seems to confirm it. How was he this morning? Grumpy? Happy? Sick?
Eh?
We were planning to go to the game tournament, but he woke up with an ache in his stomach. He woke up sick? If you're telling me the truth, and Wolfgang planned to attend the tournament,
That's not it.
why did he say the opposite yesterday? Admittedly, I'm also a little hesitant about it. Yeah, he said he wasn't really going. Not his thing. From what I remember, Wolfgang said he'd be too busy to attend the tournament. More like he wanted another round at the pachinko machine. His dad's bad habits.
Watch and learn.
I would know. I interrogated him after breakfast.
No.
What? That's seriously what he meant?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, huh? Which is why I told him, hey now, let's do the tournament. He was a bit finicky at first, typical for a soybean, but he eventually caved. Wolfgang was a pachinko player? I'm not sure I can believe that. Then again, some of the paraphernalia in this room looked neither golf nor law-related.
Okay.
Alright, so based on what you're saying, Wolfgang agreed to attend the tournament yesterday. However, come this morning, Wolfgang remembered the pirate was attending, so he suggested I track down that guy and partner with him instead.
Right.
Right, because you needed to bring a partner to the tournament. Wolfgang, he knew I was miffed about it. His smile said as much. But I walked out the door anyway.
Dumbass.
Wolfgang said he was too sick to get out of bed, so I walked away. If Wolfgang really had been bedridden, how did he wind up in the boiler room? Because he was lying. Either he didn't come of his own volition, or he was never sick to begin with. By the look on her face, I could tell Grace realized the same. With all that, it wasn't like Wolfgang to hide anything. For a guy who was so gung-ho about honesty, you'd think he'd confide in the person he's closest to. I don't know, I think it would be a stretch to say him and Grace is close. Like they share a room together. That would be like saying Damon and Kai are close, and that's not true in the slightest. Whatever the reason, Wolfgang Accurate deliberately hid information from someone. Ironic, huh? What's up, Damon?
Hi.
Hey, can you check something out for me?
Easy enough.
In here or
That's not
in
it.
the boiler room? I found a taser gun in there.
Are you for real?
I can't tell if it's been fired or not. I don't think it has, but I want to know for sure, because if I'm wrong and this taser gun was used, it might clue us in the nature of Wolfgang's death.
No kidding.
What we're talking about is that big of a deal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, since you're skilled at using guns, I figured. No sweat. I'll see to it once I'm done here. Thanks for the heads up, Damon. Eloise was kneeling on the floor, sorting through Wolfgang's bedside ottoman with a serious look on her face.
Hi.
Hey, can we talk for a second?
Give me a moment.
Okay. She closed the ottoman and stood up, not wearing the same nervous expression she always did. Is there something wrong? I want to know what your whereabouts during Wolfgang's murder. When the murder happened, I was in the courtyard. I was with Desmond in the courtyard.
Eh?
The courtyard. Yeah, yes. You can ask Desmond to confirm if you're confused. No, I'm fine.
It's simple.
Let me just ask this. What were you doing during the blackout? Blackout? Yeah, you did experience it, right?
That's not.
No, I don't think there was ever a blackout. We were only alerted to the murder because of Tozu's announcement.
I see.
I see. So my theory was right. If Winona never experienced a blackout in the tree room and Elise never experienced the blackout in the courtyard, both those buildings must have been connected to an entirely different power source. As soon as I entered the room, Ava walked over to me. Hello, I just finished talking to everyone. Anything important?
Rage.
Nothing important. I don't think Jet and Mark are taking this seriously. This might end like the mock trial where only a couple people know what they're doing. Does she really think so? While that information definitely didn't bode well for me, I couldn't afford to be discouraged by it. Not unless I want to die in this game.
Focus.
I'll see if I can make those two talk.
Thanks.
Good luck. Kai, buddy! He looks so fucking out of it. Which, like, fair enough. Ah, shit. Why didn't Tozu fix the blackout himself? Is the maintenance of this place seriously our responsibility?
Not okay!
The fridge and pantry are restocked every day, though. Ugh, can't things just be consistent? Whining aside, he made a good point. Why didn't Tozu fix the blackout? Thinking back on his spiel from earlier, the tablet's information has been divulged in such a way that both the killer and the spotless have equal chance of success. Did Tozu abstain from fixing the blackout because it was important to the killer? They could easily make their escape if no one could see anything.
Wait.
Oh yeah, Damon, since you're here, I've been thinking really hard about those footsteps we heard
Come again?
when we were in the storage closet.
No, seriously.
Yeah, they were soft, right? Like the person was wearing socks. Now that you mentioned it, it did sound like socks on a hard floor. Oh, that's why it sounded soft. Ugh, of all the things to be right about, it has to be this.
Eh?
What do you mean?
Man.
I mean, why didn't the killer just wear shoes? Think about it. The sound of something like heels would be pretty distinct, right? Or what about sneakers? They get really squeaky on a smooth floor. And
Don't say that.
what I'm saying is, you could totally figure out the shoe from the sound it makes. And if you know what shoes the killer had on, you can just look at for the person with the matching pair. But socks? Anyone could be wearing socks. The person probably removed their shoes for that reason. Ugh, just our luck. Mark, listen, I know you don't particularly like me, but I need you to answer questions, bro. Mark has returned to his position by the equipment. Hey, Desmond and Eloise told me you plan to investigate Wolfgang's room. Grace isn't guarding anymore, so you can go inside now. Let me guess, you don't want to investigate.
It's nothing.
I just came here to make sure my interface wasn't damaged. This investigation could spell the difference between life and death, yet his priority was on his stupid music equipment. Don't you think it looks suspicious, what you're doing?
What?
I heard people are already giving Grace the side eye for being uncooperative. What might they say if they find out you've ditched the investigation?
Slow down.
Yo, hold on! Jet called out to us from the other side of the room and ran over. Oh, that makes this easy. Can't you see Broski isn't feeling well? Give the guy some peace, some space.
That's not important.
I don't care. I'm working on a time limit. Who are you to talk anyway? Eh? Judging by the look on Broski's face whenever you guys are together,
It's simple.
out of everyone here, I think you'd know the least about personal space. Ooh. What? No way. Sure, Mark might not talk a whole lot, but if he wasn't having fun, do you really think we'd be hanging out so much?
Broskies always stick together.
Come on, Broski, back me up here. Time. Uh-huh. What time did the murder happen?
That's
9:35 a.m. Check this. He pointed to the small digital clock at the top of his music pad.
that's
Huh? This is the time of the murder. It was like this when I came back here. I think the clock got screwed over by the blackout. So now it's frozen on whatever it was displaying before it lost power. Then that confirms my suspicions. The blackout, and by association the destruction of the generator, occurred at the time of Wolfgang's murder. Nice going, bro. You hit the jackpot. Bet it's 'cause I was here with you, huh? Sheesh, this was getting hard to watch. Yeah, is it me or is there something funky about this place?
come again.
What? I don't know, man. Everything feels kind of off. I can't place why, though, and it's bugging the crap out of me. Sounded like he felt uncomfortable being here. I guess I can't blame him. With the turn things have taken, the tension and excitement of the tournament was all but a distant memory. And this room was now a reminder Wolfgang died right under our noses. Okay. The first time people get together and they're interrupted by a murder. Thinking back on it, the game tournament and the murder happened really close to each other. The former began at 9 a.m., while the latter occurred at 9:35. That's within the same hour. Taking another look at the whiteboard. Yeah, I can see why the killer chose to attack so soon. 8 potential witnesses, all situated in one place, too preoccupied with video games to not notice the world around them. There couldn't be more perfect time to strike. May as well skim through the kitchen just in case. Looking inside the cabinets, there didn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary. The person, John said it smelled like, except, There's a knife missing. This knife block had a knife missing from it. For a kitchen knife to go missing at the same time a knife is found floating in the boiler room's water, that can't be a coincidence. Oh shit, okay, that scared me. I'm sorry. Eh? Oh my, would you look at the time? I dare say we ought to get this trial started soon. How does 20 minutes from now sound? Great, great. Please continue to investigate until then. See you later. What? There's only 20 minutes until the trial?
Hang on.
Damon, jeez, how does she keep scaring me? The investigation's almost over. We need to find the other 3 and hear their testimonies.
That's...
The other 3?
As I was saying,
Toshiko, Ingrid, and Diana.
Jeez.
All right, calm down. Damon said they were in the courtyard, right?
I'm talking.
And Diana's in the laundry room. Then let's talk to Diana first, since the laundry room was in the same building. In the meantime, don't panic, okay?
Can't you see?
I'm not panicking. As she said that, she motioned for me to follow her to the door. Ava might deny it, but the anxiety which has been bubbling up inside her was clearly starting to boil over. Yeah, because I get that like that. Although with how fast my own heart was beating, I guess she's not alone. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Diana was standing with her back pressed against the wall, arms wrapped around herself in a tight embrace. She's even in a worse shape than before. Diana, I need to ask you a question. Please give me a moment. It's been kind of tough.
No.
The investigation is going to end really soon. We can't wait. Okay, sorry. Where were you during the blackout? Oh, the blackout right before the body was discovered? I was in my room, alone, doing my makeup. You don't have any makeup on, though. I was experimenting with new combinations, so I wiped it all off already.
I see.
So you were alone in your room the entire morning? Yeah, I just wasn't feeling up to it.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm feeling a little sick all of a sudden. Do you mind if I go back to my room? I've asked all the questions I wanted to. Thanks.
So...
Do you think she was acting weird at all?
That's...
No weirder than the others. Anyway, since Diana gave us, I could cross her off my list, which means the only people I need to speak to.
Where?
I hope Ingrid and Toshiko are still in the courtyard. We won't know until we see it ourselves. God, this fucking dog, bro. It's got those like painting eyes where it feels like it's gonna move. It's gonna move with you. Toshiko and Ingrid had retreated under the bandstand of the courtyard. The larger girl was comforting the smaller girl, who'd completely hidden her face behind her fan.
Hello?
Hey, have either of you been investigating? Investigating? Toshiko lowered her fan to reveal a pair of puffy eyes. I don't know. What are you expecting? What? Oh my god. I don't know. What are you expecting me to do?
Seriously?
To look for clues? Clues? How am I meant to do that? It's not like I've had to solve a murder before, you know? My hands have been a bit full, so no luck finding any clues. I can see why.
Moving on.
Okay, well, did you at least notice anything suspicious this morning? I hope is my mic not picking up? Hang on. It might be a little low. There we go. It could be a person acting odd or strange sound. That's what most real-life testimonies talk about anyway.
Think this through.
A person acting odd? Maybe not at the time, but looking back, it definitely seems a little strange. Do you want to tell him, Toshiko? Okay, fine. This morning I saw Wolfgang. Huh? When did you see him? In the dorm hallway on my way back from the pharmacy. The dorm hallway? Just as I was about to enter my room, I saw Wolfgang leave his. Oh wait, just as I was about to enter my room, I saw Wolfgang leave his. Oh, Wolfgang. What a coincidence, running into each other like this. Are you already on your way to the tournament, Miss Kayura? It's rather early. Of course not. A professional like myself knows better than to attend some silly party. Right, my apologies. What about you? Are you going to the tournament? That's correct. I'm going to the tournament. I'm just heading to the laundry room right now. There's a batch of clothes I accidentally left behind in there.
That's...
Wolfgang said he was going to attend the tournament?
Strange.
Yesterday, he told everyone he was too busy to attend. I assumed he'd changed his mind. I had no reason to question him. I heard bits and pieces of their conversation from inside my dorm. The whole thing couldn't have lasted longer than a minute.
Bit complicated.
Toshiko and I are bunk buddies, by the way. Thought I'd mention that in case Damon didn't know. Okay, thanks. Anyways, when I heard what Wolfie said, my first thought was, leftover clothes? I don't remember any leftover clothes. But I figured I must have been misremembering, what with my aching head and all. Aching head? I've been suffering a terrible headache this morning. Couldn't even see 2 steps in front of me, let alone get up from my bed. That's why I had gone to the pharmacy. I was hoping to procure some medication for Ingrid. Not my proudest moment, I'll admit, but I knew I could trust Toshiko with the job.
So,
Do you know what time the interaction with Wolfgang happened? 10 past 8, I think.
how should I put it?
The conversation happened just a little after the morning announcement, that I can tell you with confidence. Yes, 10 past would make sense. When the announcement initially played, I was just about to leave the pharmacy. Then she was already inside the pharmacy by 8 a.m. So, Wolfgang, he looked totally fine when you saw him.
Sure.
Yes, nothing seemed awry. Doesn't that call into question what Grace told me earlier? Either Grace lied to me about Wolfgang calling in sick, or she was telling the truth. I think she was telling the truth, because he literally just lied to Toshiko, and he does lie to Grace. And Wolfgang just got outed as a liar. I don't know why we're being surprised, because he's a lawyer. They kind of have to. That's part of the job. I can probably deduce an answer if I can know what time Grace left Wolfgang's dorm. If she left before 8:10 a.m., then she would have been out of the picture by the time Wolfgang made his move. Hence why she only remembers him in bed. However, if she left after 8:10 a.m., then she would have been there for Wolfgang's encounter with Toshiko? Which means she lied about Wolfgang being bedridden during the period of time she was in his dorm. Funny how she never gave me a time. What else happened after Toshiko saw Wolfgang? That blackout sure gave us a spook. Toshiko and I decided to stay where we were until the lights turned on, though we did watch you and your buddies pass by. You saw that?
How should I put it?
Heard it first, then took a peek. I would have said something, but I still wasn't feeling my usual self, so we watched you up until you went down the stairs. That must have been how you found the crime scene, right? Yeah, that's right.
Too much for me.
Such a terrible sight. I can't believe someone here may actually be behind it. Let's just hope we can solve it. It's time to get this party rolling. All right, everyone, that's time. Please drop whatever it is you're doing and proceed to the Tree of Ignorance. Don't make me wait too long, otherwise you'll be in for a shocking surprise. Get it? Because your trinkets can zap you. Anyway, just get a move on. It's time.
Fingers crossed.
You two go on ahead. Toshiko and I will catch up.
Listen to me.
Okay, let's go, Damon. Right. Let's fucking do... Oh, wait, I should save. Oh, I can't save in this one. Oh, no, I can. I had to wait for it to go. Save. Save thrice, kids.
Dude, that's too much saving.
No, it's not. There's no such thing as too much saving. Ava and I made the short trek to the room with the tree. Once there, we waited for the others to arrive. Eventually, everyone had shown up. So how are you guys feeling?
It's me.
Words wouldn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty bad. I can't tell you how I feel when I don't even know what I feel. This girl needs to be back on Roblox. Get her back on Bloxburg today. I'd rather we save the talking for the trial. The trial. In just a few moments' time, we were going to be down there. Down there in the trial room, fighting for survival, using only our words. Damn it, Damon, get a grip already. Before the door in the tree room opens, I need to ask Desmond if he has any new information on the taser gun.
Hi.
Hey. Hey. His voice was steady.
Like you would be named Desmond.
Don't be mean to him. His voice was steady, but his eyes kept darting around the room. I'm telling you, Desmond, it's gotta be like, I feel like it was two people who was in on, like, hurting Wolfgang, and one of them has to be Desmond, which is gonna piss me off, Desmond. You gonna make me upset. I was rooting for you. Did you check the taser?
Right.
Right, I did. Any findings? Just one. The gun's blast doors were missing.
Huh?
Blast what?
Eh?
So does that mean was used, or all of a sudden the ground? Oh no, not again. Hold on to something, everyone. Into the tree. Well, guess we gotta cut this conversation. You could literally just tell me that on the elevator ride, but okay. I'll explain everything during the trial. Let's not keep this goat guy waiting.
Holy.
Oh man, this is really happening. We're so screwed. We're gonna die.
It is how it
If you go in expecting to fail, chances are you will.
Game over, man.
Oh, I'm gonna think of failure even more because you said that.
Hold your horses.
Look at it this way. Who here are the cards more stacked against? 14 people working together to solve a murder, or one person trying to lead everyone astray?
Are we ready?
If anyone's in for a struggle, it ain't the group of 14.
Do you think?
You make a good point. Statistically, the odds are in our favor here.
It'll be okay.
Exactly. Luck will be on our side.
No, it's not.
If luck was on our side, we wouldn't be in a killing game to start with. Can I say something first before we go?
Oh,
Oh, what is it? It's a message for the killer. Oh,
what did you say?
a message for the killer? The person here who killed Wolfgang. Whoever you are, can you please step forward? Huh?
I want to help.
We don't have to do this class trial. If you could just find it in yourself to step forward and bring this whole thing to an end already, then please. Despite Diana's pleas, no one came forward.
Come on.
If someone's determined enough to commit murder, they won't back down because one person pleads. Since we're not on the subject, I also got a message for the killer. Oh wait, since we're on the subject, I also got a message for the killer.
Dumbass!
Don't forget that punishment fits the crime. Asshole, enjoy the fucking death penalty. Grace spat out those words and disappeared into the opening of the tree.
Can I go now?
Co-signed.
Slow down.
Yo, broski, wait up! One by one, people began to follow suit. I guess if it's time to go. Look at him following right after her. I'm watching him. We knew where the stairs would take us and where the elevator afterwards would deliver us, but everything beyond that was shrouded in uncertainty. There was no mock trial awaiting us, no faux murder designed to waste our time with a stupid mystery. This was undoubtedly real. Come on, Damon, get a hold of yourself already. Taking a deep breath, I approached the opening of the tree and descend into the darkness. I love elevators.